What's up, everyone? Tyler DeLuca here with Andrew Hobner, and today we complete the Overtime Select Series with one of the top players in the 2025 class, Jazzy Davidson. Get the horns out. Jazzy, thank you. We're so excited to talk with you today.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely. So I guess I was telling you a little bit before, when me and Greer were out in Atlanta at Takeover Weekend, we were like, oh, we got to chop it up with Jazzy. Instead, you were a little preoccupied, understandably so. You were overseas winning 3-on-3 FIBA Gold. Can you just kind of take us? I got a clip that we're gonna play. Before we get into that, I'm intrigued. From your perspective as a young player, because 3-on-3, obviously everyone's played 3-on-3, but with it being a real dedicated competition has been a recent development. Yeah. For you as a young player, what have you kind of learned so far just in your 3-on-3, and how do you feel like 3-on-3 specifically has helped grow your game?
Yeah, I mean, 3-on-3 is a super fast-paced, up-tempo game, so it helps a lot with just conditioning in general. I also think that you have to be able to play any position. It's a very spaced out, like one-on-one game, so if you can't defend, like that's going to get exposed like right away. So it just kind of helps in all areas of the game. So yeah.
No, I completely believe that. And speaking of exposing people on defense, I want you to break down this game winner to win gold, right? This was to win the gold.
Yes.
Walk us through this play here, Jazzy, because you got the ball and just pull up, dot him up. Oh my goodness. So Jazzy, the three balls in your arsenal. Talk me through pulling up for the shot, making the shot, and the celebration afterwards. What's going through your head?
Yeah, I mean, I just saw Sarah set a really good screen, and the girl got caught underneath it, so I pulled it, and it went in.
There you go. What was the celebration? I see the celebrations here. Like, what's the excitement levels when you make that shot?
Well, one of our teammates actually tore her ACL earlier on in the competition, so we all ran over immediately after we won and went to celebrate with her. So yeah, it was really cool. It was a really fun moment to have together. But yeah.
So a few years ago, I was working in Eugene, Oregon for one of the local TV stations there. We're covering women's basketball, and the homie Corey Gant tells me, you got to pay attention to this girl from Clackamas who is going to be the next person up. And within a year, I think, on the Hoop Girls 2025 class, like you're already sitting up there at number one. What was it like just watching yourself get that degree of interest from such an early stage of your high school career? And did anybody kind of help you along when the recruiting process for you kind of started really early in your high school career?
Yeah, I have a really good group of people around me. All my coaches, my mom, my grandparents, they all really helped me with the recruiting process really early on, because I didn't really know what I was doing. I was like probably 13 at the time. So they helped me a lot with that. But yeah.
What was the, oh my God, what is this moment in recruiting? Was it like a late night phone call from a coach or like a video text? Like, was there something where you were like, this is new to me, mom, help?
I had grown up watching Stanford play a lot, and Tara Vanderveer, just being on the West Coast, they're kind of like that program. So when I got an offer from them, that was a really surreal moment for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
So mom's a track star or former track star at Oregon. Has she finally made her peace with the fact that you are an elite basketball player and you will not be running track professionally?
Yeah, she did really want me to run track early on, and my grandpa is actually a track coach too. So, but they're really happy with what I chose to do instead. So.
Yeah, I mean, I believe it now. You know, I think they probably come to terms with it. Jazzy, one thing that in our 3 previous interviews as well with OT Select players and that we kind of asked about is the facilities and everything that surrounds OT Select. Because being there in person at Takeover Weekend, I think I said this in every interview, but like it's pro level. Like it is completely the facilities to like the atmosphere with all the lights and screens and everything. What have you kind of been able to take away the most just from that aspect of it and just being really, I mean, probably as close to, between this and your Team USA, you're doing professional-esque things and doing it. So what from OT Select specifically have you been able to take away to grow maybe as a person or as a player?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the facilities are top of the top, pro level. You get to play against the best competition in the country and with some of the best players in the country. So it's really an experience unlike any other. Yeah, really cool. So.
Are there any players that you've watched down there or players that you've done like 3-on-3 with where you're like, all right, I'm taking some of your game and I'm like adding that to my arsenal a little bit?
Ooh, that's a good question. I feel like there's a lot of really talented players here. I think Kalina Smith can really shoot it. Sometimes she'll just pull up from half court and just like swish it like no big deal. So that's definitely a good skill to have.
Yeah, it helps me. I'll pull it from half court. I can see the benefit. But look, we just saw that clip. You can pull it too. So don't sell yourself short on that. As we go into this weekend specifically, because we did all these interviews at Takeover, but now we're up to date and it's championship weekend and you are a captain of the All-Nighters. You are a championship team captain. For you, what makes your team championship caliber?
I think we have all the right pieces. I think we play really well together. We share the ball really well. We defend and we get out in transition and run. And I think the most important thing is we just all enjoy playing together. There's no like big egos on the team. Nobody's out there just trying to get theirs. So I think that really helps.
What is the part of your game that you're most proud of? Like what do you think is your biggest strength that translates not just in OT Select, but could translate when you get to college too?
I think just the versatility that I have, being able to play like really 1 through 4 is kind of an advantage for me. And also just defending how I defend and just play both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I know. I mean, when I looked at the roster for All-Nighters, I'm like, you got 2 of the top players in 25, you and Sienna Betts. How has it been playing with? I know you guys like. I see you guys are very close and everything, and so just playing with each like on this bigger stage, on this bigger platform at OT Select. How has it been kind of being this dynamic duo with Sienna?
Like you said, we're pretty close off the court, so that's really fun. Always just being able to play with one of your friends, and especially one of your friends who's as good as she is.
Yeah,
that's really fun. Yeah.
So Oregon's been in the news for a little while. Discussions about like a potential WNBA team maybe coming to Portland here sometime soon. And it's been crazy to kind of watch just how much, not just college, because we know Oregon and Oregon State have been good for a while, but also watching like the in-state talent and the AAU and EYBL apparatus kind of grow in the state, right? Like you have Cam Brink, you have Donovan Hunter, you have Ava Hayden, like there's a lot of Oregon players in the top 60, top 100 that had not been there 5 years ago. As someone that kind of came up like in their adolescence alongside Oregon and Oregon State, really finding their stride as like national programs, what's it been like just watching girls basketball develop in the state, like at that high school level? And how much pride do you have in kind of being that torchbearer for Oregon girls basketball players as you get older?
Yeah, I mean, for me, growing up, like even at the college level, my family and I, we would drive down like every weekend and go watch Sabrina and Satu play, and that was really cool, and it really inspired me as a young girl. And then also like Cam Brink, I got the opportunity to work out with her a few times in middle school, and we watched her all throughout high school, and so she was a huge inspiration for me. And it's just really cool to think that I can be that for some other young girl in Oregon right now. So.
Well, go ahead.
I was going to say, in that time, have you ever been basketball starstruck? Like been on a court or seen someone play and been like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm there with them right now.
Oh, like played with someone who's, wait.
Let's do either like you played with them or was just like in the same room with them.
Yeah. Probably the first time I met Sabrina, I was probably like 11 or 12 maybe, and it was right after one of their games, and I was starstruck. I could barely like speak, so that was really cool. But
yeah, I'm interested. We bring up the college side and the WNBA side, and another question that we've asked all the captains is, if you were to add a WNBA player, and a college player to your OT select team to win the championship this weekend. One from each.
Mhm.
Who are you adding to your squad? You don't got to take anyone off or anything. You're just adding. Who are you adding?
Doing Asia Wilson and Juju Watkins.
I mean, yeah, you can't really go wrong with either of those. The fact you mentioned Juju is also an interesting thing to me because we're seeing now the freshman class that just came in on the college side, immediate impact. We're seeing now in the rookie class that just came in, immediate impact. Mm-hmm. As obviously, your recruitment and everything is still open and all complete options on the board. But when you're seeing these players be able to, day one, the minute they walk into this next level, whether it be from college to the W or high school to college, make immediate impact, does that change your mindset in any type of way about what you could do the minute you step on the floor on the college level?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it kind of breaks the stigma of what a freshman high school or college basketball player is. I think you see like players like Juju and Hannah Hidalgo and Michaela Williams being some of the best players in college basketball, and it's just their first year. So that's really amazing to see and really inspirational too for me because, I mean, I'll be a freshman in college next year. So, yeah, exciting.
So how's the recruiting process gone? I know you've got a top 5 up. Just who's impressed you? What teams do you like? Are there any coaches that have stood out? What's it been like being one of the most coveted recruits in a class?
Yeah, my top 5 is USC, UCLA, Duke, UConn, and TCU. And they're all great programs, amazing coaches, great culture. Yeah, I really love all of them. So,
yeah, is there something when talking to other recruits as well, it kind of feels like everyone kind of has like their bullet points where it's like, okay, if you can hit this and this, I can you can kind of level up as a program of interest. If you were to kind of pick 3 aspects in your recruiting process of like, if you can hit this and this, I'm going to be interested in it. What about these programs, if you were to kind of name just 2 or 3 things that they might have in common that have kind of increased your interest in these programs specifically?
For me, the most important thing was player development. Just being able to get the most out of my 4 years in college and becoming the best pro basketball player that I can be by the time the draft comes. And then the second most important thing for me was just culture. I feel like without a good culture, I mean, you don't really have a winning program. So that's really important to me. And then just a family environment, like a really tight-knit group, coaches that really care about their players. That's my top 3 for sure.
Yeah.
So are there any visits that you've been on where something unique has happened? So there's, from the high school perspective, like we talked to Maya Paldo, and she had mentioned how Tennessee coach Kim Caldwell showed her like a video of her play and was like, this is how you fit into our team. On the transfer side, we talked to Talia von Oelhoffen about going to USC, and they had Kalani send her a video message.
Still crazy.
Which is
still crazy that Kalani was doing that.
Which look, you can probably take to Lindsay and be like, hey, where's my Kalani? Is there anything, I guess, that's happened like that in your recruitment where it's like, wow, like that's going to stick like with me in this process?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always cool when coaches create videos of how you play, like take clips of how you play and take clips of things that they do in their system and put them together and show you how you would fit into their system. I don't know. I think all of the coaches that are recruiting me have done a really good job of that. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. That TCU connection seems interesting because, obviously like Mark and Chavi were in Eugene right around that time. I mean, was that something where they kind of started their recruitment of you and were like, hey, do you remember us from Eugene? Or is that a conversation that's like been ongoing since you were in middle school and they were there?
Yeah. So right after they left Oregon, they went to Sac State. So they didn't really recruit me while they were there. But as soon as they got to TCU, they called me and were just really recruiting me hard. So yeah, great people, great coaches. So
It'd be kind of funny. I went to Sacramento after Eugene, so Mark and I kind of like followed each other there, and just like the concept of thinking like, do I pick up the phone and call Jazzy and say, hey, do you want to play in like a 1,500 person field house? Big Sky basketball.
Maybe some bigger stages available. Well, Jazzy, we're obviously very excited to see you on the next level, but we're very excited to see you this weekend as well. And to end this off here, I would love from your perspective, right? If someone is getting eyes on Jazzy Davidson, the hooper, for the very first time this weekend for championship weekend, it's their first time watching you as a player, what should they expect watching you for the first time? If they have no idea anything about Jazzy, no idea about the ranking, any USA, nothing, blank slate, what are they getting from Jazzy Davidson?
A good teammate, someone who's always willing to make the right play, pass up a good shot for a great shot, someone who plays both ends of the ball. Yeah.
There we go. A two-way player,
Yes.
top player in the 2025 class, and the captain of all nighters. Jazzy, thank you so much for your time. Like I said, we're super stoked to see you this weekend and years and years beyond into your career. We're very excited, and thank you again for taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
Perfect.
Right.
Well, make sure you guys stay tapped into everything, No Cap Space, the Substack, the YouTube, the Twitter, everything down below, and we'll see you next time.